Good morning guys. In this video we are going to discuss about inquiry or empirical evidences. Another important topic from your RIT examination point of view. So let's begin our today's topic of discussion. Okay, so your inquiry based learning. Inquiry based learning is mainly involving the learner and leading him to understand. Leading him means to whom? To the learner, to the student we are talking about here. So inquiry here implies on the possessing skills and attitude of yours. Okay, that what skill one person is having and what attitude you have towards the learning. Okay, so this is what actually inquiry is, which allows you to ask question, and because of your skills, your ability to learn thing, automatically the question arises in the mind of the learner, and this motivate a child to ask the question, and this is how it changes into the inquiry based learning. Okay, so it's about the resolutions and the issues while you are gaining new information. Now, if we look at the dictionary meaning of the this terminology here, so dictionary meaning of inquiry is seeking knowledge, okay, information or truth through questioning. Okay, this is what the general meaning of it. So all the people carry on with this process throughout their life, and all of us, our whole life, we learn something. Okay, and as somebody has said that life is daily a new lesson. We learn from everyone. We learn from our surrounding. We learn from our environment. Like supposingly, if a child goes to the market to buy some vegetable or something else, so there also he's learning practical knowledge he's gaining, right? So we all learn from the life. Even if you might find not very much reflecting. For example, infants use the inquiry to build their sense of the world. Even a small child, right? Infant means kind of baby, right? So they also use their inquiry to build the sense of the world, that what is happening around him or her. The babies turns towards the boys, okay, and the small babies, you might have noticed, when the mother or father or any relative, they make noise, so they turn towards it, okay, because the child gradually get familiar with it. Now put things in their mouths, grasp things, and observe faces that come near. Okay, and slowly this is how an infant start recognizing the family member. So this is all learning starts there. The inquiry process is mainly the gathering of data and information. Okay, so what it is exactly? Actually, it is the gathering of data and information and applying them to the senses like smelling, tasting, touching, hearing, and seeing. But unfortunately, if we look at our traditional ways of teaching, so traditional way of teaching, like in past, that has always discouraged the process of inquiry. Means the children were not allowed to ask questions, right, in a classroom. Like if they stand up and they ask any queries, they put any questions, the teacher might ask them to sit down, and or maybe the proper answer might not have been given to the child, right? So that is why it is mentioned here that it was discouraged previously. But now this is one of the big fact we all are about aware about it, that inquiry is very important. Inquiry is something, it means this is a sign a child or a learner wants to do research on the topic. So it makes the student get less prone to asking the questions as they move through the grade levels. They are just expected to listen and repeat the expected answer. This is how our traditional method was, that they were just supposed to come and sit in the class and they are supposed to listen to us. Okay, they don't have any right to ask any question. Now this due to the lack of understanding of inquiry based learning. Now inquiry based learning is not just your based is not just asking the question, but it is a way of converting data and information into useful knowledge. Okay, so this also you need to remember that this is not inquiry based learning is not just asking the question, but it is a way of converting data and information into the useful knowledge. So a useful application of inquiry based learning involves many different factors. Okay, and this thing require different factors are there. Okay, and what are these different factors? Okay, these are a different level of questions, a focus of questions, a framework for the questions, and a context for questions. Okay, if further we see, so much mesmerizing information and the facts are readily available, which needs an understanding of how to make sense out of it and turn it into useful knowledge. The teachers must be able to analyze that he or she does into only have to accumulate here means to collect information and data, but also have to generate it. Okay, mean, this is not only the teachers has to, if you are a teacher, so you just have to collect the data from here and there, but one should have an ability to generate it also uh, into the useful knowledge, which can be easily done through inquiry-based learning. All right, means what kind of question a student asks, a teacher can come. Supposingly, teacher is not knowing that answer, maybe at the particular moment, but still that question can be pointed down, and a teacher can come and do the research on it, right? So this is how they can expand the territory of their learning. Our country's success depend upon the natural resources. Okay, is the past. The future of the country a success and now depends on the workforce which works smarter. Okay, so previously in olden days it was that how much natural resources do you have, on that success of the country depends. But now it is the people of the country, those who make this country very much successful. So inquiry-based learning can be applied on all disciplines, which has been confirmed through different research. Okay, learners have different perspectives of viewing the world, like economic, history, scientific, artistic, etc. The discipline can be interrelated through inquiry-based learning, which ensure the integrity of different disciplines and the world views about them. Okay guys, now further we have what is inquiry based teaching. So inquiry based teaching is a teaching method that combines the curiosity of the students and scientific method to enhance the development of critical thinking skills while learning science. As learners encounter problems they do not understand, they formulate questions, explore problems, observe and apply new information. In seeking means finding a better understanding of the world. The natural process the learners follow when seeking or finding answer and deeper understanding closely follows the generally accepted scientific method. Often, the answers proposed by learners lead to even more questions, much like the outcomes of the research. Okay, further it says the students engage in the five activities when they engage in the inquiry learning and use the scientific method as noted in the National Science Education Standard published by National Academy of Science. Although these tasks occurs in a logical progression, inquiry is a fluid process and one task may lead to the previous task. Okay, the process is illustrated in the given picture. So this is how IBL, okay, in short this is inquiry based learning is called your IBL, and in this figure here you can see that how this your inquiry based learning work. Okay, it can be first ask, investigate, create, discuss and they reflect and again they ask. So this is a kind of circle which keep moving. All right, this activities goes in the inquiry based learning. Now, according to the National Academy of Science 1995, when the students learn through inquiry, they question, they investigate, they use evidence means proof to describe, explain, or predict. They connect evidences to the knowledge and they share findings. Okay, each of these factors can be found in the following examples here. Okay, guys, now here we have some questions related to our empirical evidence. Okay, these questions may be asked in the examination, so one has to be careful. So first is what is empirical evidence? So it is the information gained by observation and experimentation. First you observe or you learn by doing experiment with something, okay, in a form of recorded data. Okay, so this is what the definition of your empirical evidence that one should know. That is the information which you acquired, which you gain by observation or experimentation. Okay, this is the one definition. And the second definition of empirical evidence that it is an information used by the means of senses, particularly by observing the pattern or behavior through experimentation. Okay, if you look at the meaning of the word empirical, so empirical means verified information. Okay, so evidence means solid proof or fact of support. So now if you will combine these two, empirical evidence, so you will get the complete meaning of it. Okay, a verified information which act as a solid proof or a fact to support something, right? That is known as called your empirical evidence. Okay, and your empirical research always also lead you to empirical evidences. Okay guys, now here we have the two new words for you guys, right? And these are the two important terms which are used in the research purpose. And they may ask you this term in the exam also, so you should know that is the first one is called posteriori. Okay, posteriori is like a knowledge obtained through observation or experience, and priori is the knowledge obtained without experience. Okay, means one is not having the experience. Like for example, if a student going to the hotel management college or degree course he or she is doing, so he might have not experienced a practical hotel, but what they have is the experience from the reading from the book which they have gained, they have achieved, means the knowledge they have obtained from the book, but they have not attended to the practical knowledge yet. Okay. See, here we have one more another definition of it. It says the inquiry based learning, it is a kind of teaching method that involves learners and leading him towards understanding. Okay, so important process is the gathering data and applying them through our senses. It is a scientific method to develop our critical thinking skills. That is your inquiry based learning. Further, your IBL or your IBL or your inquiry based learning can be divided into the two parts. The first is your qualitative research and another one is your quantitative research. So what your qualitative research include? It often used in the social science situation. Okay, it examines the reasons behind human behavior. Okay, it is done at the starting of an experiment, and qualitative research in this data is collected through senses. Okay, data is collected through senses. And in quantitative research, when we talk about a quantitative research here, your quantitative research is used for collecting numerical data especially. Okay, and in the mass, size, volume is done at the end of the experiment in the quantitative research. Alright guys, so this is all about your IBL, inquiry based learning, which is important from your exam point of view. So thank you very much for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.